Yo, this is Travis Black, man, representing Total Darkness with the henchmanati. Y'all need some blessings, so pay attention to the lesson. Put it to BET! Sex, drugs, killing, and money. Buy a black CD. Sex, drugs, killing, and money. Walk down the streets and see sex, drugs, killing, and money. Then you wonder why black people act so primitive. It's funny. Wake up in the afternoon at 1:06, put it to BET. Drugs, killing, money, and sex. Turn it off, get out the house, and get on the bus. And what do I see? Sex, killing, money, and drugs. Girls dress provocative, sex. Guys act like thugs, killing, wearing tons of fake jewels, money. Eyes red from the blunt, drugs. Get off the bus and get in the mall. And what do I see? Angry black people being monitored by police because black people act like animals in the streets. Too many of us in one place and you know there's beef. It's like we need the police to protect us from killing ourselves. Although in the process they kill us off like whales. We're an endangered species from the start. Please, brother, heed me. Quit acting so hard. Let down your guard. The war didn't start, and when it does, you probably won't be killing anyone dark. Take my words into heart. Let's be blatant. Let's take a look at the Indians, Asians, and Caucasians who buy every store in our neighborhood and one more make all of their money off of us as they sell us their clothes. Yo, this is Travis Black, man, representing Total Darkness with the henchmanati.
This is all Moors. Just letting you know this is Hench for Life Edutainment. Hench for Life Edutainment, 2004. Right? Hench for Life Edutainment, 2004. Henchmanati, Open Mind, Open Mic, Volume 1. Right, one of our first crew CDs for all the people who want to play hip hop and all that stuff. Let's play some spoken word. Let's change it up because we're Canaanland Moors. You know what I'm saying? We're not new to this. Big up to Travis Blackman.
Y'all need some blessings. Pay attention to the lesson. Put it to BET. Sex, drugs, killing, and money. Buy a black CD. Sex, drugs, killing, and money. Walk down the streets and see sex, drugs, killing, and money. Then you wonder why black people act so primitive. It's funny. Wake up in the afternoon at 1:06, put it to BET. Drugs, killing, money, and sex. Turn it off, get out the house, and get on the bus. And what do I see? Sex, killing, money, and drugs. Girls dress provocative, sex. Guys act like thugs, killing, wearing tons of fake jewels, money. Eyes red from the blunt, drugs. Get off the bus and get in the mall. And what do I see? Angry black people being monitored by police because black people act like animals in the streets. Too many of us in one place and you know there's beef. It's like we need the police to protect us from killing ourselves. Although in the process they kill us off like whales. We're an endangered species from the start. Please, brother, heed me. Quit acting so hard. Let down your guard. The war didn't start, and when it does, you probably won't be killing anyone dark. Take my words into heart. Let's be blatant. Let's take a look at the Indians, Asians, and Caucasians who buy every store in our neighborhood in 1 month, and then they go and then they make all of their money off of us as they sell us their clothes, their food, and flavored blunts, and then they sit back and they laugh and say that black people are punks because we don't support our own people. Not ever, not once. The question used to be, got milk, but now it's got guns? How many people have you shot, son? We can't exist as a collective. If black is beautiful, why do we act like we're demented, like our brains are defective? Together we can solve the puzzle, thinking like detectives. If you look at the black race from another race's perspective, you will start to understand why we are seldom respected. It's hectic. If I had my way, I'd eliminate BET and Freestyle Friday, because that's a major factor to the violence, and it's evident. Let's see who can diss each other the best, because that's intelligent, and then we copy that and we freestyle in the streets, and everyone's a thug and can't take losing and say, what did you call me? And we're ready to draw heat. Thanks, BET, Black Exploitation Training Internationally. The truth is, you're a useless, stupid doofus. If you can't see that the root of the abuse is in the music, you're clueless. Monkey see, monkey do, kids. That's why we act ruthless. Put away your gats. There's 3 new toy dolls on the market dressed like hoes, Spanish, Asian, and black, and they call them brats. I wonder what's up with that. Teen pregnancy is all about what is seen and heard on TV. It starts with kids in grade 3 singing peaches and cream, and they don't even know what the freaking dish means, but their unconscious mind receives the subliminal messages. Whoever wears least clothing and most makeup is sex. Specs with this. It's right in front of your face. They distract the men and attack the women and children in the race. And in grade 8, we go out and find them maybe before we even try today, because TV says sex is great, and it is, but we don't teach it properly to the kids. We get addicted in sex, everything in the vicinity. Then it becomes a contest to collect the most virginities.
Yo, you're not ready. You're not ready. You think it's Prime or Iron Sheik or Moorish MC or Hench? You think you're ready, bro? You are not ready. 2004. Travis Blackman, the best spoken word artist probably ever. This is just one. This is just one of his stuff. 2004. 2004. Right? People will think that we're new to this. Right? Only spoken word people know what's up right now. Only spoken word people know what's up. This is so deep because 2004, when you really check the play, that right now, what he's talking about has happened. What he's talking about in this thing right here that we dropped in 2004, telling all these people, yo, you better get your act right. We're letting Blackman tell you. His name's even Blackman. That's how Black Power we were. We got the Blackman to the only spoken word artists, right? Leave shows, have the place weak. Don't even want to hear anybody else. And he went maybe third in the lineup. Go third in the lineup and there's 20 artists and nobody wants to hear anybody else. Osiris Bay. Right? Don't get it twisted. He's a black guy. No, he proclaimed his nationality and all that. Don't get it twisted that he's still a black guy right now. He's more. He's more. Remember when we talked about a few classes ago? Where's the stuff? A few classes ago, we showed you Dark Skull 418. And we told you that Asir the Duke of Tears is from another planet. So we just have to give honors because he came to put us on some stuff. That's what Blackman was for here, for up here. On the spoken word level. Right? Anywhere he goes, church sing, wedding, show 2,000 people, show 10 people, just in the back of somebody's car, they're chilling. Yo, going nuts, have people losing their mind, going into other dimensions, don't even know what happened. Right? No weed, no alcohol, nothing. We're talking about just taking you somewhere that you've never been before. This is the level that we were on. Back then, we were just saying black and African and all the BS that we know now is BS. Because this is the man. Ask anybody on the album who's the man, they're going to say Travis Blackman. Forget me. You want to put up something. You want to put something? Okay, put something against this certain Bay artists, people who just, you know, want to make a song. They're not trying to be a star and all that stuff. Yeah? Put up something on this. We're not even done. We're not even done. 3 minutes in. We have 11 minutes of this. Just to show you how serious it is. You know what? We'll just start again from the top, just because.
Some blessings. Pay attention to the lesson. Put it to BET. Sex, drugs, killing, and money. Buy a black CD. Sex, drugs, killing, and money. Walk down the streets and see sex, drugs, killing, and money. Then you wonder why black people act so primitive. It's funny. Wake up in the afternoon at 1:06. Put it to BET. Drugs, killing, money, and sex. Turn it off, get out the house, and get on the bus. And what do I see? Sex, killing, money, and drugs. Girls dress provocative. Sex. Guys act like thugs. Killing, wearing tons of fake jewels. Money. Eyes red from the blunt. Drugs. Get off the bus and get in the mall. And what do I see? Angry black people. Police, because black people act like animals in the streets. Too many of us in one place, and you know there's beef. It's like we need the police to protect us from killing ourselves, although in the process they kill us off like whales. We're an endangered species from the start. Please, brother, heed me. Quit acting so hard. Let down your guard. The war didn't start, and when it does, you probably won't be killing anyone dark. Take my words into heart. Let's be blatant. Let's take a look at the Indians, Asians, and Caucasians who buy every store in our neighborhood in 1 month, and then they go and then they make all of their money off of us as they sell us their clothes, their food, and flavored blunts, and then they sit back and they laugh and say that black people are punks because we don't support our own people. Not ever, not once. The question used to be, got milk, but now it's got guns. How many people have you shot, son? We can't exist as a collective. If black is beautiful, why do we act like we're demented, like our brains are defective? Together we can solve the puzzle, thinking like detectives. If you look at the black race from another race's perspective, you will start to understand why we are seldom respected. It's hectic. If I had my way, I'd eliminate BET and Freestyle Friday, because that's a major factor to the violence, and it's evident. Let's see who can diss each other the best, because that's intelligent, and then we copy that and we freestyle in the streets, and everyone's a thug and can't take losing and say, what did you call me? And we're ready to draw heat. Thanks, BET. Black exploitation training internationally. The truth is, you're a useless, stupid doofus. If you can't see that the root of the abuse is in the music, you're clueless. Monkey see, monkey do, kids. That's why we act ruthless. Put away your gats. There's 3 new toy dolls on the market dressed like hoes, Spanish, Asian, and black, and they call them brats. I wonder what's up with that. Teen pregnancy is all about what is seen and heard on TV. Is 3 singing peaches and cream, and they don't even know what the freaking dish means, but their unconscious mind receives the subliminal messages. Whoever wears least clothing and most makeup is sexiest, and nobody's vexed with this. It's right in front of your face. They distract the men and attack the women and children and slowly weaken the race. And in grade 8, we go out and find a mate before we even try today, because TV says sex is great, and it is, but we don't teach it properly to the kids. We get addicted and sex everything in the vicinity. Then it becomes a contest to collect the most virginities, and then you get a girl. Don't worry. Then it becomes a contest to collect the most virginities. Then you stop using condoms because they make it less passionate. And then you get a girl pregnant by accident. Well, life's too good to be held down, and you ain't having it. And instead of sticking around to be a dad, you pack your bags and split. And now you have a fatherless kid. But mommy's not afraid because she has mother skills to raise them, and she gives them all her love and all her wisdom and her patience. But she doesn't have the father skills she needs to make him a man. But still, she does the best that she can. And as he grows up, he sees mommy with man after man, wondering which one will be the one to give mommy a hand. And then one stays, but then he leaves because he really does not care, and he's too scared to raise a child that's not theirs. And she cries at night and she begs and she pleads because she doesn't want her child to find wisdom. When you were young, mommy was always sad, and now as you're getting older, mommy is always mad, and she argues with you, screaming, and she tells you that you're bad, and she takes her anger out on you because you start to look like your dad, and you just don't understand. And you say, why are you stressing me? Why are you depressing me? Why are you harassing me? I know the situation is stressful, and I wish that it wasn't, but damn it, mom, not your husband, and she never stops cussing, and you relieve your stress by jumping people when you're thugging, smoking weed and having sex. Then you stop using condoms because you think, why bother? Then she's pregnant. Then you leave because you're not ready to be a father, because your father wasn't there to teach you how to be a man. And then the whole damn cycle starts all over again. Why do black men always do what they shouldn't? We're the only race that glorifies disgracing our own women because it's cool to call them hoes, bitches, pigeons, and chickens. Just remember that these hoes, bitches, pigeons, and chickens are the mother of your children and the reason why you're living. Now, there's a difference between hoes and women, I'm certain, but think, without hoes, most of y'all would be virgins. Hoes are people just like me and you, and remember, everybody, hoes need to eat too. One time I called a girl a trick pigeon because she had sex with me and 10 friends in 6 minutes. Then it dawned on me that we just got pimped, because you never see one girl bring 10 of her friends for one man to please. Please answer me. How many different ways can you catch HIV? Men are horny like rabbits 24/7. Women are only horny like men if there's alcohol in them. So who's the bigger hoe now? The men or the women? The men, the men, the men. No kidding. I'm gonna tell you something that's scary as hell, but it's not like I'm the only person that knows this. A hoe cannot be a hoe by herself unless she holds a nice man hoe to be a hoe with. Not last and not least, we'll talk about the police. POLICE, protectors of life in case of emergency. Police are absurd to me. I'm certain with certainty they have passion for hurting me. It's like they think that they're God behind their bulletproof vest, and no one has the common sense to shoot them in the head. Imagine, if you will, when police are trained to aim, they are trained to aim to kill black men, black women, and black children. And if you ever think they'll see prison, then you're mistaken, because the people in control of the judicial system are bacon. They have no patience with black brothers. All cops are corrupt. Some are just better at hiding it than others. Cops are evil motherfuckers. They're beating people with their clubs. They feed off Negroes as they suffer, and they feed them as they beat us, and we bawl and we scream and we bleed all over our jeans. Supreme, because they're mean and they're afraid of us. That's why they travel in 2s and 3s, because if they fought one-on-one, they'd probably end up losing teeth. I'd rather be a thug in the streets than one of the beasts. Fuck the police. It's time for a new beginning. It's time for change. Nobody even realizes that they're still slaves. In the slave days, you were shackled in chains, but the chains that you were shackled in went clang, clang. Nowadays, you're still shackled in chains, but instead of clang, clang, now they all go bling, bling. And no one realizes that it's the same thing. Of course, we're all slaves. You all look the same with your fancy hair, fake chains and rings. When rap music first started, no one thought it would last because it was different music and because it was made by blacks. But then time passed and people started loving it. Then we started to speak the truth, and then the man corrupted it and gave us lots of money to buy things we never had before. So we said, sure, of course, forgot about the poor, changed our lyrics, and you didn't hear the knowledge anymore. And was he rapping like that before? But it didn't stop, and gradually it became the norm. And now you do what you hear and what you see on TV, and nobody wants to hear and see people like me speak, because as a whole, we're mindless sheep and we pretend that we don't know. Do you really think that Undercover Brother was a joke? We are our own worst enemy, and it's evident. You people act as if everything I say is irrelevant, but you'll treat me with benevolence if I preach low intelligence about ignorance and belligerence for the hell of it. So listen to me now. I have so much money. It's all about the Benjamins. Satan's cash rules everything around me. Scream, bling, bling, get that dough. Money, cash, hoes, money, power, respect, credit cards and checks. Money ain't a thing. Any up, buddy, you're a slave to the man because you're a slave to his money. It's no longer funny. It's time to make change. Slavery isn't over, people. Slavery has been rearranged. And that's for the fake gangsters. Your act is a joke. If crime pays, why are all of your niggas broke? All you do is smoke weed, rob people for their money, and then afterwards buy more weed to smoke. And if you sell drugs, whether it's coke, crack, or pot, you keep on selling because you don't know when to stop, and you keep on selling till you've got more money than you could want, and then you keep on selling until your ass gets caught in and out of jail for the rest of your lives. You must be happy knowing that you probably won't see 25. You must learn to survive. We must learn to use our brains, or we will be nothing more than niggers, nothing more than slaves. Have you played this game before? I know you have. You're going somewhere and you cross paths with another black man and you think, maybe I'll nod my head to give him salutation, but then you think he'll nod first, so then you wait with hesitation, but then he thinks you'll nod first, so then he's waiting, but you don't because you think that he'll nod first, but you don't realize that he won't, and then your heart starts pumping and your excrete perspiration because the staring contest is turning into confrontation in the middle of Kennedy Station, and he can't back down because if he does, he's not a thug, and he can't back down because if he does, he's not a blood, and he can't back back down, because if he does, then he's a chump. And he can't look away, because if he does, then he's a punk. And he can't look away, because then he will not win. And he can't stop staring, because there's girls watching. And then your brain gets confused, and a gangster song pops in, and you're ready to fight, and you're ready to start squabbling. And he says, what? And then you say, what, punk? And then you beat his ass down, chop, kick, block, punch. And then you walk away happy, because you think that it's done. But little do you know, he thinks he's a thug, goes home, calls 10 of his friends, get drunk, come looking for your ass. You get jumped, and you get dumped. But you can't take that, because you're a thug too. Go home, find your dad's gun, and go looking for him to shoot. And now you walk the street with heat, holding it sideways like the movies, because that is the gangster way of holding your toolie. And then you see him and start shooting, but the first person you hit is an innocent bystander, a 7-year-old little kid. And then you realize you can't shoot straight if you don't hold the gun properly. And then you shoot him when he's running, hit him and blow off his knee, and then he falls to the ground and he's yelling and he's screaming, and you think that he's dying because he's crying and he's bleeding, and you're really scared because you realize just what you've done. You've killed a girl and shot a man with your dad's unlicensed gun, and everybody's seen your face because it's the middle of the day and you're trying to flee the spot, but quote unquote, your block is hot, and you're arrested by the cops before you think half of a thought, and now you're locked up behind bars for your whole life in the dark, and every night you're being raped by someone very, very large. I know that life is hard, and it's been like that from the start, but this is how most beef starts, from Rexdale to Flemington Park. It doesn't matter where you are. It all starts because one black guy is too shy to be the first black guy to say hi to another black guy. I blame the music. I blame the television. I see where they're taking us, and I beg you, please don't go there, because like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, I have a vision, because the worst feeling in life is the feeling that your race is going nowhere.
Ouch. Travis Blackman. We give thanks to brother Travis Blackman for keeping it as real as it could be, always. So we're gonna make a quick stop and talk to a few people. There's a lot going on. For the Moors. Islam Moor.
Islam, brother, man.
Yo, how you doing, family?
All is well, brother. How yourself?
Everything's good. Happy holiday to you, Moor.
Islam, my brother. Happy holiday to you.
And happy holiday to all the Moors. Yeah, just introduce yourself. You know, the video's up, so you can just talk about what's going on or what went down, and we'll go from there.
Islam. Well, first I want to rise and give praise to Allah. Honor to the Prophet, the Jewelry. I want to give honor to all past, present leaders of the Moor Science Temple of America. I want to give honor to all true and divine prophets. Give honor to the Heart of the Marcus Garvey. Give honor to Brother Cujo. Give honor to Sister Roz. Give honor to the Brother Tires. Give honor to Kenya, Umar Bey, and everything Moorish. Islam.
Islam.
And yeah, just a, I guess a little brief overview. You know, the video has been circulated with us being introduced on the Senate floor. And that was actually just regards to a Senate bill that was being passed, particularly called Senate Bill number 238. And there was some legislation in regards to using student demographics and connecting student demographics when the children are being enrolled into public schools. So we simply were just presenting this legislation in support of the many Asiatic children, the many Moor children who attend public schools, and parents do not know about the Moor Science in America, don't have access to private schools. We would ensure that their rights are being protected as well in the public. No, that was the purpose of the legislation that we were writing letters in support of to get it to for them to amend the Virginia Code, and they actually did make some amendments to it. And we were just up there following up with some of the verbiage that was changed in there. And when we were there, the senator and lieutenant governor, they asked to introduce us on the Senate floor. So it's, I mean, it was a good experience. However, it's not, this movement is not for our show. We don't want people getting too caught up in that, thinking that that's what it's about, because it ain't about that. It's really about the legislation, particularly, and how the current practice is affecting our children. And it's one thing that I really enjoy just throughout this entire process is that we're really learning how we can go about amending and correcting some of the codes and some of the policies that are being used in the general public.
So the idea is like looking at it on a broader jurisdiction than just the city or the municipal level.
Absolutely, absolutely. This legislation change is going to affect everybody in the state of Virginia, and then obviously the actual one state must be respected by another. So this actually go nationwide, and you know it's a step in the right direction. Essentially, just giving the making it prohibited. We were prohibiting the third party observation, and then they added another box for other under race whenever children are enrolled in school. So those are the two actual amendments and two changes that came from it. But like I said, the fact that we're learning the process, and the prophet said he's going to keep leading Europeans for long enough to teach us how to run a government. And what we're learning now is already seeing firsthand how we can amend some of the general laws that are being imposed on everybody across the board, not just the Moorish Americans, but for all Americans and for sympathizers alike.
So because from you know, observing what you Moors have been doing out there, it's obvious that your quote unquote activity is not in the lane that people's mindset is when they say active Moors. So what are you doing in the community, you know, as far as what you think more should be doing as far as quote unquote being active?
I like how you framed that question too. It's really good. And yeah, I think essentially it really is about uplifting fallen humanity and living according to those principles and ensuring that you're focused on being a better and true American citizen. And like, for example, there's a few things that we collectively do here in Virginia is we volunteer in the public schools. That's one thing that's been kind of been one of our primary things that we like to do is we volunteer in the public schools. I was actually just recently awarded as a 2017-2018 Volunteer of the Year with the elementary school that we volunteer out of.
Islam.
And that's just from a 2-hour commitment. Every creation for 2 hours, we volunteer with the children and we give them our time. Like I said earlier, it's not about outward show. It really is about you internalizing these lessons, internalizing the words of the Prophet Ali, and utilizing them. Actually following those divine instructions in the Quran. And if you live accordingly and do right, then that's as our soul dictates, the end shall always be right. So I think it really is about being a good steward, a good role model, a good leader, just a good person all around the board. It's not about trying to beat a court case or beat up on a judge or challenge jurisdiction or none of those things. We should be, as the mothers and fathers of civilization, we should be thinking from a standpoint, and how can we make decisions and do things that are going to improve all of our lives collectively, ensuring that all of our social economic concerns are being addressed, not just your own individual things. And that it's really just about that willing sacrifice. So that's kind of what I would say as far as that, what it means to be a real active Moor. It means you are an active, willing sacrifice. And you're here to uplift all the humanity and do your part. And you support all things Moor. So
Islam. I know our time's limited. Is there any updates or information that you want to present to the family as far as anything Moorish?
Islam. Yes. Well, actually, we got a little bit of time. We got our holiday meeting to start at 7:30, so I got a little bit of time to talk with you before we got to get started. But one update I would say is with the credit union. We're currently, the last update I received from my business manager, we're at 211 surveys in. Right now, we need assistance with some people who can assist with the data conversion. Because the way that the surveys were compiled online, when we look at the hard copies of all the data, it's just a lot of numbers and names, everything compiled. So we have to convert that data into an easier to read format so we can analyze the survey, develop the business plan off of the survey. So that's one thing that we're in need of. We need assistance with that. If any more that are listening want to jump on board and continue to assist with the credit union process, we do need subscribers still. We still need surveys conducted. We still need people to help analyze the surveys. You know, there's enough work for everybody. So it's that's kind of where we are with that with the credit union. And other than that, man, you know, we more living, growing, got out here, and you know, decided living on life, man, the best we can, according to lucky people.
Just one more question, because the way you're talking, you know, you talk like how you talk, but like you're saying, this is not about court case, and this is not certain things that people would say is active. Like how do you mesh being more Science Temple, because it's becoming apparent that many people have taken the passive opposed to the active side, even on the humanitarian level of just doing volunteer stuff, you know what I mean, just to help out because of our influence. You know, like how you put it together so you could still feel like a Moor when you're, you know, going to the schools, you know, as a European, so you shouldn't be going there and all that type of stuff, or, you know, why work with the European and all that.
Islam. I would say the reason why is because I'm using the lessons that I've learned from the Moorish Science Temple of America, and recognizing when you're doing, you know, Moorish Science Temple of America work, and when you're doing kind of more so Moorish national movement type work.
Right.
And we recognize there's sometimes where we have to teach nationality and divine creed and just focus on that, or particularly teaching our people. We are an Act 6. So there's going to be point in times where we're going to have to just focus on uniting the Asiatics. And we don't have a lot of time to go in detail, and we're not in the proper setting to, you know, typically do what we'll do in the temple, but we still got to unite our people and work together and just staying focused on our common issues. You know, when you really get into the literature and you get into the lessons and the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew and apply them as an active Moorish American, then you'll do the work that you got to do. I mean, it's like, I ain't trying to be funny, but it's really not that difficult. You know, it's about using your common sense, doing the right thing. You know, just doing right by people, having good morals. You know, if anything, the temple and the teachings in the temple would just give us a body politic and corporate to move with and to do things with, you know, connected with like-minded individuals. But that's how I was thinking. I meshed it together is just do it, man.
Right. And then another thing you said was that you identified yourself as a society.
Islam.
You know, like, you know, you talk to some people, they say they're an organization or they're a religious corporation, opposed to, you know, calling themselves a body politic and then talk against people who talk like that. So
Islam, that's all counterproductive, man. The reality of it is we got the Moorish Science Temple of America, which is the organization that serves our society, but that is not encompassing our entire society as a whole. Because we have Asiatics, many people, you know, even to this day, many people here in America don't have a Moorish Science Temple of America in their local community, but that doesn't deny that they're in a Moroccan and born in America. So it's you know, I think for real, the best thing I can encourage everybody to do is just stay at everybody else's garden and tend to your own weed. You know, if you just hold yourself accountable and you live the life according and you do what you know you're supposed to do, then you'll be fine. And to take your time to learn and grow in this. Like the Prophet said, it'll take you 50 years to figure it out. So keep that in mind, that it's, you know, it's going to take some time, and it's going to be you being committed and disciplined to this and unfolding, and most importantly, being faithful and knowing it ain't about a man or anybody else. It's about you, and you getting in tune with your higher self.
Now, to close out, what was if you can talk about it, what was one of the profound things told to the Moors when they went to the Senate, like by the people on, you know, that are there? You know, was it wow, you guys showed up, or You know, like was it cordial? Was it them, you know, telling you that black identity extremists and all that stuff? You know, like what?
Wow. I would say the most profound experience was just the warm embrace from everyone. You know, it felt like collectively everybody there was waiting on us to show up.
Yeah. Wow.
That's how it felt. And even afterwards, something else that was pretty profound was the fact that the senator, after he had announced and, you know, introduced us to the Senate floor, and then the lieutenant governor went on and he expounded on his thoughts and given honor to us for leadership. The Senator Bill discussed, he was the only senator who actually walked up to the top to actually take the hands of all of us. And you know, that was something else that afterwards, as we were leaving, you know, we got a tour around. They pulled us around the Senate floor. And then we went downstairs and they said, hey, we normally don't allow people on the Senate floor before or after a session, but you guys can come on in. And, you know, they let us in. We go in. They say, y'all want to take pictures? And we're looking like, y'all just said people can't even come in here. But y'all invite us in to take pictures and whatnot. So it was really just the welcoming and the warm embrace. And it was really completely different than what a lot of Moors, you know, not going to say a lot of Moors, but a few misinformed Moors that I met initially when I came into the movement that presented this idea that, you know, the government's trying to get us, or the state government is out to get us, and all this negative things about, you know, just the people who are elected public servants.
Right.
You know, they're just public servants and their job is to protect and preserve our rights. And as long as we understand that, when we show up, they work for us. And they treat us accordingly, and that's not to be egotistical or not to boast of superior understanding in any way. However, we got to conduct ourselves accordingly as good citizens and contribute to our government.
Right. Now we know that Moors do what they do. You know what I mean? Just because, you know, we are who we are. But one of the people in the chat asked, how are people outside of the temple, now that you went to the Senate, looking at the Moors different, or is it just something normal, like they, you know, to them?
No, it's politics as usual.
Yeah.
You know, the reality is a lot of the key 69 people are returning.
Right.
You know, a lot of people are coming back now, and you know, now they're for the temple. They're more supportive now. It's unfortunately, people wait till they see what they consider to be validation.
Right. But I mean, you know, no, go ahead.
I mean, politics overall, the people outside of the temple are starting to be receptive to it, and people are coming back because they're seeing the pictures and they're hearing this, and it looks good, and then, you know, but however, that's not. We ain't worried about that.
Right.
The doors are open. They welcome. We love you. We're going to still love you the same way, whether you want to stay faithful or not.
Yeah. Regardless. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's what I would say is the biggest difference. I mean, I've even received, I received phone calls from random Moors. I received messages, emails. I mean, a bunch of people have been reaching out to us and giving us honors, and we appreciate it. However, just remember, it's one prophet, one temple.
Straight up.
You know, and Allah alone guides the destiny of the Moorish dynasty of America. So, and if you really reflect on who was honored, it was not me, it wasn't us Moors in particular. It was honest and noble to leading to the Moorish dynasty of America.
Islam.
That includes all of us.
Islam, straight up.
So
give thanks more.
That would be my last word. I want to hopefully just encourage everybody to really move in the spirit of unity. You know, let's really focus on uniting with our Asiatics, brothers and sisters, Asiatics and Muslims. Let's put aside our personal differences and issues. And something else too that I want to touch on too that was really paramount, that was profound in regards to what I witnessed being there, was I saw how uniform and how committed they were to working together outside of their differences. You know, they know the different nationalities, different groups, different organizations. However, when they come together, they focus on the common issues and focus on common resolutions. And that's something that we as North Americans really take to heart, because there's too much bickering between us over nothing.
Right.
And we need to be focusing on our children, the young and the born, and just doing up for humanity. So
no doubt. You'll give thanks more. Just
man, I love y'all more. Give honor to you, my brother. Appreciate everything you've been doing and all your support.
Thank you more.
And, More, that's a good. This is a good grand teaching I got there, brother Kuzma. So continue to live according and remember as one.
Islam, Islam, more.
All right, brother, man. Peace and love.
Peace and love. All right. Should be clear. Should be clear. It really should be clear by now. If it's not clear, then, you know, I don't know. But we're talking about Moors being recognized, which is what all our people keep saying, which is what it's very interesting. You know, on one hand too, the people that are, you know, coming back now because now they saw something, now they want to be down. You know, even them swimming back. Even those ones swimming back to the ship, you know. All right. I mean, you chose to jump over, so all right, cool, swim back. You know what I mean? We don't have to throw you anything. You're just gonna swim. All right, do your thing. You know. But yeah, the Moors, you know what I mean, and again, can't talk bad about it. You know, going down there, dealing with those Moors there was, you know, it was like a Mecca experience. You know, it was definitely a Mecca experience. Just seeing Moors, you know what I mean, and they're saying Moor Science Temple, but they're active. They're not, you know what I mean, treating temple like it's some type of club or whatever. They're not playing club with it. You know, they're not playing club with it. Like they're really out here for the people. Like their program, Men of Distinction, like they put in some time in some schools. Time. Like mad time. Nothing to do. Like if think about it. If you're a humanitarian, this is why the Shriners got hospital and stuff like that. You know, because they're gonna have the hospital and they come with the clowns and give the children gifts and all that stuff to hide whatever their dirt. That's how they use it. But when you have somebody that's humanitarian, there's no dirt that they're gonna do. There's no dirt. If they're living, and then on top of that, you put the principles on top of that. So you have the principles, and then everything's done as a humanitarian. There should be no war with anybody. And if there is war anybody, you know that it's them. Mad because they want to rape people. They want to suck people. And now that they can't suck, they're mad. Now that they can't suck people, and suck people are starting to say, hold on a second, I don't want to get sucked anymore. These people are mad now. Now they're mad. Now they're mad. And they're mad because they're not able to rape people anymore. Like, how is it that Moors are mad because they can't rape their own people? What do you mean you're mad? You're mad because you can't rape your own people? These guys have housing schemes now that they're doing. These guys are doing housing scheme now. Turning bins into houses and saying that they're the founders of that. You think Dirty Moors don't have tricks up here? Yes, vampires. Fangs and everything if you look good. If you look good, you realize it's always no eye contact. Right? Only when they're taking a Warner position would they do eye contact. Other than that, they're hiding. Hiding. Buyers. They love the dark people in ignorance so they can suck. If the people aren't ignorant, then there's light, and vampires scatter in the light. Running behind the curtain. Running behind the curtain. Trust that when we look at what it is that's going on right now, and we look at what's going on right now, you know, the continual synchronicity, you know what I mean? Think about people, you know what I mean? Dream something that happens more. You know that the shift is happening. So because you should align yourself with like at the shift, you have to be aligned with the energies. Because it's the pendulum. What goes around goes around. It's that time. People who haven't been on this, those are the people that, you know, the ones who are on this, you already know what's up. Seen it with your own eyes that it's over. There's Moors who've seen things. I swear to you. I swear to you. If they talk, they will turn your brain to water with what they tell you, because you won't be able to even fathom where they're coming from with what they tell you. Because this is so divine before it's national. This is so you better be aligned properly. You better be aligned properly. Physical, whatever. All is mind for real. That's why as a man thinketh, so is, because thinketh is mind. All is mental. It's going down right now. No, it's going down right now. Like they have Moors, they're going to schools. Moors going to schools. Not new, not just started yesterday. Been doing that. Why? Because volunteer 2 hours, they give you a room, ain't no big deal. Once you're doing something, whatever, those mans already have the program that they've been doing for the past how much ever years. That if those are Moors, they're active, and then you're Moors, you're active, and then, you know, they have a quote unquote Department of Education that has a program that works. Then it's only right that if we're Moors that we get their stuff and then implement it where we're at on the exact same principles that they did it because they're doing it. And of course, Dirty Moore is going to be calling and trying to whatever, but don't even try because everybody's going to get cycled through the, you know, should we talk to this one? Or no, this guy is whatever. Because there's unity already. We got this on lock. We just need people to get on. It's about birthrights. It's all. Just that's really what. Nothing spectacular you're gonna get on. Like we always joke with Hemet and the Nuwapians, and they're sitting there waiting for the big secret because Bobby Hemmett is there. So because Bobby Hemmett, he's gonna say something that's gonna make our heads explode because he's Bobby Hemmett. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. Right. What's serious is how did he do a lecture in -40 with no jacket? And everybody else in the lecture has a jacket on. He has the heater right next to him or whatever. He just had a little over sweater or something. Not me that's keeping me warm. Because I know it's cold in here. Like I can tell it's cold in here, but I don't feel cold. Like in a whole nother place. All divine. It's all mental. It's all about tapping in. We're already here. So you keep making the joke about the boat that has left the dock. You understand that the reason why a boat has left the dock because it's the flood that's coming, the flood of ignorance, and you better be on a solid foundation when the place floods. The foundation, your stuff is gonna be gone, and if your stuff is gonna be gone, you better have been on the boat. So then when the water level rises, you know, the easy stuff, the boat has left the dock. So you're playing around like you're black and that's your identity and whatever. But Moors are getting more appreciation from these people who so-called black people say is a white man, they want to kill them and stuff like that. But those people look like Moors. You look like Moors, they're killing you, but they're recognizing Moors. And then Moors who are getting it from European. When there's Moors who's not getting it. How come they're not giving it? How come those Moors don't have no issues? Or is that the real public and private? And don't let these people ever play you into thinking that Moorish whatever is some private whatever. The real private is the stuff that you do in your house with your wife and your children. That's the private. There's no private commercial BS these people talking about. Everything's public. How you have a YouTube video as a public figure, but you're a private trust of something? What private what? What do you mean you're private when everybody knows you? How are you private? How are you private? These people got your phone on tap. None of these people play you into being into some suspended animation of reality, thinking that you're going somewhere. This is way deeper. These Moors are recognized. Was it recognized? And then people are going to be so that didn't mean anything because he mispronounced Noble Drew Ali's name. It wasn't about Noble Drew Ali. It was about people not being able to be branded. It ain't about Noble Drew Ali. Noble Drew Ali already did his job. This is these Moors' job. What do you mean they mispronounced Noble Drew Ali? Do you think they don't know who Noble Drew Ali is? Of course he was nervous. You know what this is going on right now? Why wouldn't he be nervous? Nervous on that level. Nervous on that level to mispronounce Noble Drew Ali's name. But he made a mistake or he mispronounced something. Do you know what? Do you know how these people boot shake when Noble Drew Ali's name is mentioned? Dumb Negroes with fezzes on, they're gonna make you think that he's their stuff. He's not theirs. You think he's only for Moors only? These people recognize Noble Drew Ali sideways, inside out back in the 1920s. They mispronounced his name in 2018. They're dissing. Shut the hell up. Who's dissing? They're dissing. How they dissing? When they passed the stuff freaking 68-3 or something like that. The 68 people said yay, and 3 haters, and then you're going for the 3 thumbs down. You're looking at the 3 thumbs downs and saying that video sucks because it has 3 thumbs down, but it has 500 billion hits. You're a stupid idiot. You're a clown. This stuff's done. Get on your memoirs, or you know what I mean. Like I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what's gonna happen. I really don't know what's gonna happen because clearly these people aren't playing. Like they're doing so much madness to people. It's not even worth mentioning what they're doing to people because people ain't getting nothing. They don't want to be free. People want shadow slavery. That's why we put the. Where is he again? That's why we put the one on the horse. That no, we're not chattel property. We're Moors. If these people want to be chattel property, you enslave them. Don't even look in my direction because I'm Moor. I'm the Negro on the horse. Not the Negro that's in the field picking stuff for you guys. And if you ever try, I'll take that whip from you and I'll beat you with it. Because I'm not your chattel property. We're Moors. Right? We are Moors. People could play like they're all whatever it is that they want to play. Indigenous, Aboriginal, and all this stuff and making up stuff. Again, just to try to get in your pockets because they're running into over the cliff with all the other stuff that they've been trying because we've been exposing every fraud that these people been playing, trying to get people. Every fraud, you name it. Every paperwork. Just go through 1,700 videos. Letting you know. This is what, like, yeah, you know what I mean? We got nothing to hide. What are we hiding? Have something to hide? This is life. That's some coulda, woulda, shoulda stuff. This is life. This is a lot more. I don't know if you're there still. Oh, you're there.
Hey, I'm just here. You definitely hitting some major points there, more. I mean, especially with the being on a horse. Hey, you gotta get me with the whip. I'm gonna hang you with that same whip.
Like, leave more, you know.
But
Yeah, go ahead, more.
Yeah, and I was saying that's beautiful. I heard the caller earlier. And I would love to get in contact with him so you can pass the word. I would love to have him on the show.
No doubt.
It was very good that oh, that's my daughter. I apologize about that. But yeah, it's very good. I love the way he speaks, especially that unity and being inside the schools there.
Yeah, yeah.
So whenever you get this. No, so whenever you get ready, I do have some questions for the second half before you you turn off.
No, we're good now if you want to run it now.
Yeah, because what I had heard earlier is really like asinine. I mean, it's really asinine. So many people being told about us being Moors. We are Moors, y'all. There's no question. So
no question.
And I just don't get how people want to just make up something and think they can just run with that and that's going to be it. You know, maybe I can, like I said earlier, put a feather in my hat and call my nation macaroni. You know what I'm but no, I mean, no. It's just real asking about how musicians can make up shit. But okay, no. Well, my question is, because here we go with the Q&A. So the first question would be, can a nationality be made up? Can you just make a nationality up?
Noble Ali told the Moors that our flag is 10,000 years old. Right, our flag is 10,000 years old. Like, if our flag is that old, what is it again? Ask that again.
Can a nationality just be made up? You can just make it up out the blue.
Okay, so again, Noble Ali said, right, that our flag is 10,000 years old. 10,000 years old. And he said our nationality is Moorish American. The flag is identified with Morocco, which is an empire, a kingdom, and a nation. Anybody making a claim that they're dark skinned and they're something other than that, they're a fraud. Especially if they're doing that over here.
Right.
Because, you know, too many cooks spoil the broth.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Too much people want to be head of something instead of playing their, change the garbage position. Everybody wants to be leader guy.
Right.
When, like the Moor said, one prophet, one temple. Well, one prophet said our nationality is Moorish American. So why are you making up stuff?
That's right. That's
Now,
right.
what's the point of making up something when somebody's telling you something's been here for 10,000 years and you're part of that? Something's been here for 10,000 years, you're part of that, but you're making up something? What kind of backward thinking is that? Something's been here for 10,000 years, still here, but you don't want to be part of that. You want to make up something yesterday. And then I'm so smart, I'm convinced that, oh yeah, that is a nation that he started yesterday. And I'm going to go pay dues, and I'm going to go read the Constitution, and I'm going to have their codes, and I'm going to get their plates, and I'll get all their stuff, and then I'm going to be, free from the slave master. Which, you know what? It might just work. It just might work. And then they might go on for 50 years, 60 years as these made up people. Have no issues. Everything work. But, everybody knows that nothing lasts forever. And nothing lasts forever because not of the stuff that you might lose or whatever, because people die. People leave this realm. And when time to leave the realm, and then you get to the judgment door or gate or, stream the cross or whatever it is, all that fake stuff that you did is going to be coming up. All that, man is not mine, I'm going to do what I want because I got this locked down, and forget universal laws and, karmic debt and all that stuff. I'm just going to do whatever out here. And then everybody who was with you, they're going down too. When their times go, hey, how come you were following this clown instead of following these people over here who told you don't follow people? How you following I made a nation guy? And then everybody who makes a nation is always a guy. There's never ever a sister that ever came out and said, I am a nation. I am the whatever. I am the Sahara woman nation.
Right, that's right.
And we are the Saharites because we are a nation. Never. It's always men making nations. How men making nations? What kind of Frankenstein nations are these men making?
Right.
Because they're obviously going to be making test tube babies in the man nation.
That's right.
They're obviously going to be Yakub.
That's right. Nation comes from mother.
If nation comes from mother, how come men are claiming that they made a nation?
Exactly.
What don't they get? And how dumb are these people to even listen to them? That they made something yesterday. When a man came and told you you're connected to something that's 10,000 years old, you're talking about you made up a flag or whatever? And that's the real flag? That ain't no different than somebody saying they're a reincarnated prophet or whatever.
Right.
It's no different. It's just the exact same thing.
Now, our next question, Brother Sheik, and since we're dealing with dead history or Black history, The next question is, what was the Prophet Noble Drew Ali advocating for? Black history or nationality amongst our people?
Noble Drew Ali was most definitely for nationality, because that is what the call was to all of his people, right? To redeem the nation, to uplift the nation, all these things he kept saying, right? For example, right, to show that he was about nationality. Prophet Ali speaks to the nations, need strong men and women. If you have race pride and love your race, join the Moorish Science Temple of America and become part of this divine movement. Then you will have power to redeem your race, because you know who you are and who your forefathers were. Because where there is unity, there is strength. Together we stand, divided we fall. Together we stand, divided we fall. Together we stand, divided we fall. Come, good people, because I, the prophet, sent to redeem this nation from mental slavery, which you have now, need every one of you who think this can be better. That's the only ones, nobody else. Every one of you who think your condition can be better, that's who we want. If you don't think your condition could be better, you're good where you're at, then you stay where you're at. You stay floating on the dinghy in the middle of the ocean. This is a field open to strong men and women to uplift the nation and take your place in the affairs of men. Remember, the Moors in Virginia, they didn't do that BS that these guys are telling you about, civics means, go join them. They didn't go join them. They're active Moors. You heard them say Ras Mariah, Taj, and all that. So obviously, those are their teachers if they shouted them out. But they're Moorish Science Temple, though. I thought Moorish Science Temple was supposed to be against that. Oh, or is that just a certain clique of Moorish Science Temples? A certain branch, a certain order, a certain lodge of Moorish Science Temple who's playing games with your birthright and want you to think that we're the ones playing games with your birthright when they're the ones playing games with your birthright. Right? If the Europeans and other nations are helping me, why not you? Morisco, world, why not you? If the European and other nations are helping us, why not you? It is your problem. The Negro problem is being solved only as it can, and that is by the Moorish national divine movement. If you have a nation, you must have a free national name in order to be recognized by this nation as an American citizen. You must have a free national name to be recognized as an American citizen, not be a member of Moorish Science Temple. It's a free national name if you want to be a nation. He just brought us the other stuff that goes with it, flag and the holy book and the culture, so that we know what it is. This is what was meant when it said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be added unto you," by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, September 1928. Now, does that sound like some civil rights or some black BS, or does that sound like nationhood?
Nationhood.
And that's just one of the many articles by Noble Drew Ali that echo the same theme, that this is about nationhood. This is not about some cult called Moorish Science Temple, and we meet over here on Fridays. And in order to come in here, you got to do the elbow knock and all this type of stuff. This is not some club. We're connecting ourselves to something 10,000 years old. That's why these Moors could get recognized. Because Moorish Science Temple is just an arm for the nation to use to pick up some stuff. Or lean up, or whatever you want to use the arm for, you know. And have to scratch your knee with the arm of the Moorish Science Temple. Then, you know, scratch your knee. Like, it's your arm to do what you're supposed to do with. Let me doing madness with the arm. It serves a purpose. It serves a purpose. So nationality will always be the order of the day. Right? And church means circle. So if Moorish Science Temple of America is a church, then it's a circle. Okay, that's your perspective. You know, because people always think that Moorish Science Temple gives you a nationality. The Moorish Science Temple of America can't give you a nationality, and anybody teaching you that Moorish Science Temple gave you a nationality is playing you. And anybody believing that Moorish Science Temple gives a nationality, and that's impossible because they can't do that. And you guys are Moorish Science Temple, and you give no, we're not those Moors. We're not those Moors that sell Moorish Science Temple of America nationality and stuff like that. We're not them. Yeah, we wear fezzes. Yeah, we say no Buju Ali. Oh yeah, we know Allah is our God. Yeah, we have a building called Moorish Science Temple. Yeah, we have Holy Quran, Moroccan flag. Yeah. But yeah, I know they do that. But, you know, the Chinese people who do dirt, you don't connect them with the Chinese people who don't do dirt. You don't say, oh, look, that's your brothers over there. You already know that the people who don't do dirt already did whatever it is that they're doing to let you know, don't connect them to them. But you're going to try to connect us. Right? You're going to try to connect those dirty Moors who we know are dirty Moors to us. And we've been putting them Moors on blast. Go ask those Moors if they rep Cujo. They'll tell you they don't rep Cujo. They'll tell you they don't rep Canaanland Moors, and they don't rep any of our teachers. Right? And don't worry. The Muftis, you got about 5 seconds, you know, before the Muftis regulate certain people. But certain people think that, you know, this is just some, you know, just remember, we got 30 thumbs up and 0 down. As soon as the one that goes down, you already know that they're trying their BS. Right? We know that we're Taj Tariqites. We know that. Yeah, we're Taj Tariqites. Right? Just like termites and wood. You know what termites do to wood? That's what Taj Tariqites do to dirty Moors. Yeah, you think Taj Tariqite is some follower of Taj Tariq. No. Taj Tariqite is defenders of Taj Tariq. You guys got it twisted. Really thinking that you're gonna stop us from teaching that this is about birthright. And half these people that call themselves Moorish Science Temple are frauds. We know that. We know that. We know they are a fraud. They know that we know that they're a fraud, which is why they go how they go. These people talking BS about who's more Science Temple and who's not. Doesn't matter. This is Moorish nation. What are you talking about? Who's which temple, what temple you belong to? This is nationhood. Did we just read the stuff from Noble Juali? All he's talking about is nationhood. You never mentioned temple in here. Just at the beginning to join it. That's it. Everything else, dealing with nation. National, nation, national, nation. But nah, people want to play. If you're not Moors, you're Negroes. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad because you want to be stateless. You mad at me because you want to pick cotton? Why are you mad at me because you want to pick cotton? Like what? What do you mean? What do you mean you're mad? You're mad because I choose to exercise my birthright, which lets me experience the world, really, while you're just stuck wherever it is that you're stuck. And you're trying to put your little torment on me, like I care. Oh, interesting. Hold on there, Supreme. Since we're talking about dirty Moors. Islam, more. Islam.
Islam.
Peace and love, more. What's good?
That's Brother Nabu and Sarva. He'll be right with you in a minute. You still on?
Yeah, I'm here, yo. I'm just talking about these Moors, but your timing is impeccable.
Say again?
No, I'm saying your timing's impeccable because we're just talking about, you know, Moor Science Temple and people not really taking that too serious when it comes to certain ones that say that they're that.
Right.
Because you know, we recognize that there's definitely some self-hate going on in the Moorish community. And these people are hidden under the banner of Moorish Science Temple of America, but claiming they're doing so much good for the people, and then talking negative about people who are actually doing the work. You know, people who are actually putting in the work.
Right.
You know, there's Moors at Virginia, and we were talking about their vibe, and it was going in the same direction of where you know, we were talking about earlier, that they're not looking for some municipal acknowledgement. You know, they're doing what they're doing for the nation as a whole. You know,
Right.
and them doing it for a nation as a whole shows that they're actually sincere in what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
So there was a beautiful acknowledgement today, another proof that, you know, things are going in favor for the Moors right now. You know, if the Moors eyes are really open, they would realize that, you know, it's time, right? Just because of certain things going down. So we were talking earlier, you know, and again, putting it out there again, that it's a beautiful thing when Moors are recognized by these European colonists, whether it's whatever level of government it is, once they recognize indigenous Aboriginal birthrights, they recognize Moors, they recognize the Moorish nation, they recognize anything Moroccan. All right. It's a good thing. You know, it's a very positive thing for Moors. But we were the underlying intentions of certain things happening. You know, we were talking about the proclamation for today being Moroccan Day.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, how did you find out, or how, you know, how did it come to your attention that this was happening?
Well, I got a text this morning from Brother Seton, and he got the text damn near midnight the day before. So, bottom line, they didn't really want, you know, conscious Moors on the strength of the ones who out here standing for the true uplifting of fallen humanity, rather you conscious Moor or not conscious Moor, you know, staying true to the Moors divine and national movement is what you're supposed to be true to. So, you know, we found out pretty much the day of. You know, so in essence, they didn't really, in actuality, they didn't really want us to be there, in a sense, you know. So it's that divisiveness.
No.
So that's how I found out.
Yeah. Now, from what you observed, what was it? You know, a good acknowledgement. Like, you know, could maybe things have been different? Because I know there were people that were streaming it live on Facebook, I think.
Well, it was an acknowledgement. I'm going to tell you yes and no. Why? Because the little bit that they did put out there, they put it out in the universe. It's just that we got to take our own who say they for uplifting fallen humanity and stop them spinning it or hawking stopping the momentum. You know what I'm saying? If those Christians gave us that little bit, all right, that's cool, but you didn't really have to do it on the so-called Black History Month. You didn't, I mean, granted, that's the second month, cool. And it's the 9th day of that month, that's cool. And it's 2018. But when you add up 2018, a 2, a 0, a 1, and 8, that's 11. So it's like the second 9-11. So it really didn't do anything.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It kind of like, it did something in the sense, but on the other hand, it's like, yo, you put us into the you know, the civil little more to status celebration type deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? No. And we understand the science of number 9. So you did it on that day as well. I mean, that's just my thinking. I could be wrong, but you know.
Right. Seton Raspberry yet?
Yeah, he is.
All right.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, no worries, more. Yeah, bro. Now, when you look at Noble Drew Ali and the public presentation of Moors? Because I didn't see any footage or anything like that, but you know, from what you saw, was similar, or could there have been more people there, or like what?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. What I've seen on a photo, it was no more than about a dozen people. You know, it could have been more people behind the camera, but I haven't seen anything like that. You know, I just saw a temple, members in a sense.
Okay, so because also too, when I was looking at when I saw the Moors in Virginia video, and again, this is not a thing of, you know, some competition or no BS like that, right?
Right, true.
You know, right? Both jurisdictions where Moors are domiciled, these corporate whoever's recognize them, both of them equally. You know what I mean? They have their own history with the European as far as Moors are concerned in those jurisdictions that speaks for itself once you study. Right? So don't think this is some, you know, Moors in different territories versus each other, no BS like that. Right?
Right.
It seems very likely that, you know, people are taking this recognition of Moors and wanting to tie it to their particular club instead of everybody having you know, part in it.
Right.
You know, like we're saying with the Moors in Virginia, they're talking on a state level that what they're doing is affecting not just Moors only, but humanity as a whole that are having certain problems.
Right.
You know, whereas, you know, a lot of the municipal minded Moors get lots of recognitions on that level, but that's not really on even a state or a global or international level of you know, ability to exercise whatever it is they get their proclamation or resolution or whatever for. You know.
Islam, she come here.
Yo, Islam more.
Islam. So
yeah, go ahead.
Create like Naboo said. I got up this morning about 3:30.
One second again. One second before you go on. Again, just letting people know that this is not about taking away from what had happened, right? It's an amazing acknowledgement. But if you're going to tell me that you're going to sit there and watch whoever break down the Black Panther movie and not have a problem with it, then don't have a problem when we break down this Moroccan Day recognition by City of Philadelphia. Don't get mad when we decode it, because that's all we're doing. Looking at it, and then we're decoding it, because we're looking at this with different minds. Just like the people who are going to go decode Black Panther movie when that comes out, and you're not going to say anything about them decoding that. Right? So go ahead, more. Just the disclaimer for these people.
Islam, yeah, like I said, I got up about 3:30 this morning, and I checked my phone, and I get a message last night, 11:48 p.m. The message says, "Apologies for the late text. I was been supposed to have told you there's a ceremony for the Moors at City Hall tomorrow at 11." I was never told what the ceremony was about, just that it's a ceremony for Moors at 11. My brother that I know that goes to Temple 11, I'm thinking 11-1 or 11A. It's one or the other anyway. I spoke to a couple other brothers, and I told them that I had heard about the ceremony, but I didn't know what it was about. And neither of them told me what it was about. I found out after Brother Nabu told me that there was supposed to be, that there was a Moroccan Day celebration and honoring and a raising of the Moroccan flag at City Hall. My thoughts on it is this. Just a month or so ago, the brother Tahar Kabay said that the Treaty of Peace and Friendship had absolutely more. But the Treaty of Peace and Friendship is between Morocco and the United States. And today there were Moors, along with the corporate officials from the corporate city of Philadelphia at City Hall, recognizing Moroccan Day, and there were Moors there. So obviously Moors in Morocco got something going on. There's some kind of connection there. Right. Just to put that in perspective, everybody who was riding with that guy that said the Treaty of Peace and Friendship had nothing to do with Moors. You're talking Morocco, United States. The same thing happened today. Morocco, United States. Right. Now the only thing that troubles me is that there were only Moors from that temple. Yeah, of course, Taj Sharif, they was there, and people going to run that in a hole. But yeah, if they call Taj and say, Taj, come on out, this was going on, Taj is going to go. Because all Taj want to see is the success of our people. So for anybody out there want to be saying Taj this, Taj that, listen, we don't ever see y'all nowhere. We don't ever hear from y'all. We don't ever see y'all putting out any books, any literature, doing any classes left and right. We don't see that from y'all. So whatever you got to say about Taj, say it. We don't want to hear it. Now, as far as the attendance was low because they didn't tell anybody. Even though it's only a Moroccan Day, it's an acknowledgement. Right? Now, there should have been so many people there that they should have had to redirect traffic. Yesterday, the Philadelphia Eagles had their victory parade for winning the Super Bowl. There was over 2 million people here. Over 2 million people. They shut down streets. They shut down public transportation. They shut down the highway. They shut down all kinds of stuff. There was no school. There was no so-called quasi-government. None of that. Nobody was working anything yesterday. Right? And there should have been the same situation today. Not to the extent of having to shut down the city, but you should have had to shut down a couple of streets because there should have been that many feathers and turbans out there. And even for the Moors who know they're Moors, but they don't have feathers and turbans, they should have been out there. Whether it's a baseball cap, whatever it is, as long as in your heart you know that you're a Moor, you should have been there. But since we got this club nonsense going on, and they say if you're not a part of the temple, then you're not a Moor, then they ain't telling nobody. That's ass backwards, man. That's putting us, you're talking about honoring Drew Ali. You're going to honor Drew Ali with some nonsense like that. Drew Ali said, I'm speaking to all temple members and all American citizens. That includes everybody. And again, I'm going to say this for all of y'all people out there who might be listening, who think I got something against the temple. Cujo is my brother. I'm a part of Canaanland Moors Temple. Mind, body, spirit, however you want to put it. That's my home. So save your temple talk. I don't want to hear that either. What I'm saying is, if you come to me and you talk about unity, and you talk about let's get some work done, and you talk about things like this, how come I didn't know about this last week? Because I don't have a problem in numbers out. All I got to do is make a couple calls and people going to come. Hey, listen, this is what we doing. And people will come out. But no, you want to keep it in-house and you want to play Trumpism and you don't want to say anything. Imagine this. If there was at least 30 people out there today, that's cool. But imagine if it was 300. Imagine that. Imagine there's 300 peasants and turbans out there and there's no arguments. Imagine there's no fights. Imagine the police ain't got nothing to do but stand around like, damn, they really are peaceful people. They really are. They really are in harmony with the first principle, which is love. Imagine if that had happened. But it can't happen if you don't put the word out and you don't tell everybody because they're not part of your club. Almost. I was talking to you earlier, Sheik, when me and you and the boo on the phone earlier.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna pose this question to the world. If I got to go to the temple to be a Moor, where do Chinese people go to be Chinese?
Straight up.
Somebody answer that. And if you can't answer it logically, then don't even bother. But I already know you can't, so don't even waste your time. Because Chinese people are just Chinese, just like I'm already Moor. You're talking consanguinity and birthright, not club life.
Yep.
To add on what Brother Civic talked about birthright and nationality, you know, I didn't find out about my Moorish heritage through the temple because I never saw any temple members coming to me like, yo, brother, you seem like you can handle this information, or you have, you know, some reasoning skills within yourself, just because of your history and just because of, you know, how you present yourself and carry yourself. Let me share some information with you. They're not sharing the information with anyone who doesn't, you know, belong to the temple. I'm going to tell you straight up. I found out through Taj, late nights teaching, roundtable discussions with Taj, weekends. Like we wake up, the sun is coming up. I mean, we get done talking with Taj, the sun is coming up. You know what I'm saying? And all those books he written, he used to give us, like, I said, Taj, where should I begin? He said, oh, read this, read that, read that, read that. I said, all right, how much I owe you? Oh, just give me $10. Wait a minute, I got 7 books here. So even the master teacher, Taj Tariq Bey, wasn't about the fiat. He was just happy to see that I came into the light. You know, I got out that shallow grave, if you will, and, you know, wanted to learn more. And that's how I found out about it. Little did I know I would come into all this chaos as, well, you're not really it unless you come to a temple. I mean, that's not what I read in you know, Noble Drew Ali's literature. That's not what the prophet, that's not what I gathered out of the prophet. And I think I'm all right with literary criticism. You know what I'm saying? So, or interpretation. And now this thing about, well, temple Moors, y'all deal with too much law. Oh, how do we supposed to navigate around here? You know what I'm saying? If we're not learning civics and learn how to be better citizens and try to breathe and, you know, take our place in the affairs of men. I mean, it's simple. Like, you know, I think a child can really see it.
Straight up. So like it's really.
But you have, you know, what we call the tricksters. You know what I'm saying? You know.
That's what I was just gonna ask too, because like what for some people to know that there's something like this, right? You know,
right.
Like there's no way that this is not promoted like how they promote debates and all that, flyers and all that stuff that Moors know. Like I'm talking, there's no way that a city is doing something like this and they found out yesterday.
Yeah, right. There's no excuse for that, Sheik. There's no excuse for me to get a text at 11:48 p.m. about something that's happening in less than 12 hours. I should have known about this because they know I can get the numbers out. They already know that I can reach the people. But and it's like I told you and I told the group. Obviously, he didn't really want me to know. You didn't forget to tell me. Come on, man. You know that there's a Morocco Day being celebrated and a flag being raised. Forget the clubbers and listen. I want every available Asiatic out there, pheasants, turbans, baseball caps, whatever, to come on here and honor the first principle of love and recognize peace.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but that didn't happen. You know, they took their little group picture, man. It was a couple of them, and look, and honor to them for being out there. But You got to stop the club stuff, man. You got to include everybody. Listen, when we did the Morris Ball, November 11th, 2017. Initially, when I put it out there, I put it out there for everybody. I didn't say only people that come to the York House. I didn't say only people that live in Philadelphia. I put it to everybody. Everybody's welcome. If you can read it and you have more to say, come on out.
Right.
Flat out, come on out. I don't care that you go to this temple or to that temple. I don't care if you swing from trees with monkeys. You got a fez, put it on and come on out. You don't got a fez, put some clothes on and come on out. Because that's the only way we're going to be able to look each other in the eye and be able to be at peace with each other. Is to actually do it instead of sitting around saying, "Oh well, I'm not this and you're not that." That's nonsense, man. What we should have seen today was hundreds of people out in the street.
Yeah.
We saw 2 million people here yesterday.
Yeah, how much people? How much? Yeah. How much? Because talk about that too. Talk about the lengths they went for their Super Bowl and how and in relation, you know, the lengths Moors didn't go for our flag raising.
Yeah. Listen, now here's the thing, right? A lot of people are familiar with the Ben Franklin Parkway in Philadelphia. That's a long street with all the flags of the different nations hanging up on the street. So I come through there on Tuesday night, coming from work. They literally took down every nation's flag and they put up Eagles flag. Now don't get me wrong, I'm a sports junkie. Everybody that knows me knows that, right? But I understand some things. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, they took down all the nation's flags and put up Eagles flags, right? So then you got over 2 million people. And this parade was, look, the Super Bowl was Sunday. The parade was supposed to be Wednesday, but it snowed and it rained. So you're talking about something that was put together in a matter of a couple of days, and 2 million people, 2 million plus people showed up for it. Now here you got Moroccan Day, and they raising the flag. They're raising them. Every available Moor should have been there. Look, it's only for one day, right? Like Luther Vandross saying, it's only for one night. At least, because the parade is only for one day. After this Super Bowl is one day, it's over. The parade is one day, it's over. Right? So the flag is one day, it's over. But it's the memory, right? It's the experience of seeing that. To say, you know what, we got one day. Let's see if we can get a week. Instead of going to the municipality, how about we go to the corporate state? How about we go to the Commonwealth? See, we're not even thinking internationally. We can't even think globally because we can't see past our noses. Okay, cool. We went to City Hall and we got a flag raise for one day. 30 people. It should have been 10 times that. Easily 10 times that. The words, as soon as the corporate city agreed to do it, the word should have been on the wire. You should have known in Canaanland. You should have known in Canaanland. Because if I know, then you know. You reaching more people than me. You live streaming every day. You reaching more people than me. So if I know and you know, then the world knows. Right? And then people that's streaming live on Facebook, now you got 1 million views. Now you got people all over the place who've seen it. But since they didn't tell nobody, only about 20 people saw it.
Wow.
Outside, maybe 100 people outside of the 30 that was there. That's not acceptable, man. That's not acceptable. If I'm the Grand Sheik, I'm embarrassed.
For real.
I'm not the Grand Sheik, and I'm embarrassed.
You know what it comes down to, brother, is that if not all temple Moors, but the ones who go to the temple and they feel as though you're not more, if you don't go to the temple, then the burden of proof, you want to bring the claim, the burden of proof is on you. Prove that I'm not. Prove that you, know what I'm saying? Prove that I'm not.
That's the Expatriation Act, right? That anybody who can't prove other than being Moorish, a Moorish subject, right? Moorish nationality is ipso jure. If you can't prove citizenship somewhere else, then you're ipso jure, a Moorish subject. Exactly. I'm not even trying to prove nationality nowhere else.
So where does your allegiance lie?
Exactly. And then and that's the expatriation act. If you can't prove that you're from somewhere else, then it's by ipso jure. And look that legal term up. IPSO JURE. Ipso jure. Look it up. Then you're ipso jure, a Moorish subject.
It's the Treaty of Peace.
Straight up.
We got to get our people to open their eyes. We got to get our people to open their ears. We got to get our people to open their hearts and shut their mouths. Lose the emotion, y'all, for real. Tuck the emotion in your back pocket. We got too much to learn and too much to do to be sitting around worrying about where somebody spends their weekend. I can promise y'all I'll be back in Cujo's temple before I'll be in a temple here. I can promise you I'll go over to Asbury Park and go see nature before I go anywhere here. Because at least I know Cujo's sincere. At least I know Cujo is true. At least I know nature's sincere. At least I know nature is true. But when I got a grand sheik and when I got a sheik, quote unquote sheik in training, coming to my platform and tell people that they need to leave there and come to where they are, I know that they're not true. Because I would never, ever step on somebody else's toes like that. Never. Let your body of work speak for you. You know what I'm saying? Let your body of work speak for you. Let your body of work speak. Cujo's body of work speaks volumes. How many videos you got? 1,500?
Something like that, 1,700 something.
Come on, man. And they wonder why people listen to you. They wonder why people flock to you, because you won with the people. You never turn nobody away. Somebody called Cujo help them. You never turn nobody, and they wonder why people show allegiance to you and not to them. I say this, and then I'll yield the floor. I think I just did my 5th Noble Drew Ali Day in Toronto with Cujo Simple, right? Anytime I travel from here to there, and anytime other people travel from this part of America to that part of America, just to be a part of that day, that's something special. And I see more people at that Drew Ali Day than I saw at the Moroccan Day today. For the past 3 years, and every end of the month of August, Cujo has a temple cookout. I've been to all 3. Like I said again, we travel from here up there, not just myself, plenty of other people. Well, you know why? Because Cujo's true. Because Cujo's real, Cujo's honest, and Cujo is just a plain old good dude. How is it that we can have an event like that today and see only that small amount of people, and I see more than twice that at these events all in Toronto? No excuse for it, man. It's time to stop the nonsense, the clubism. Put down your little batons and your little outfits and all of that stuff. You all matching. Stop being cute. Let's get this work done. You got Moroccan Day. All right, cool. Then let's get Moroccan year. Let's get Moroccan life. Let's get Moroccan everything.
Mm-hmm.
Islam, I yield the floor.
Islam. Pardon the interjection. I want to give you honors for that, Seven, but this is Supreme L. I want to give you high honors for that, bro. You there?
Yeah, you stepped off for a minute, brother.
Okay, let them know that I give my honors for that. And I just want to ask, we had a Q&A on here, and I want to follow up with a question, and anyone can answer it now that we're on here together. Why is it that the temples have this membership mentality?
That's a good question, brother. I'm not sure, because I only nationalized maybe a little over a few years ago, and I came in at Harlem. And just like you see Taj Tariq Bey on some videos telling someone to read the word black and then go to Black Law Dictionary, read colors, and Black Law Dictionary, and then read Civil Lit Mortus, and then read in For Life, and you know how he takes you through. I had to look at Taj and say, guys, you know what? Thank you, brother, because I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna run with it. And then, you know, I've been doing things, you know, as I see fit in terms of standing on my status, whether it be, you know, traveling or you know, going to the SSA, correcting status and all that stuff, going to my bank and saying, look, you guys, look, if you want to contract with me, but this is my status. You're going to have to change this bank account. You know, you're going to have to put my free national name on there. So I really don't understand it, because I walk around Philadelphia every day fessed up. Everywhere. And I don't know if people know me, but I'm the jeweler. I make the Circle 7 rings. I make the pendants and all that jewelry that people be seeing. So when I go down to Philadelphia, to Jewelers Row, to buy the silver, to buy the metals, to buy the raw materials, to make all this, believe me, the Philadelphia cops know who I am. When I cross the street, they stop the cars for me. They say, hello, sir. I just went to the Philadelphia car show, and soon I walk in, I see the cops doing extra duty at the car show. They made their way to make sure they shook my hand with me, my daughter, and my granddaughter. So how is it that the Temple Wars can say that you're not a Moor, and I got Mexican brothers and cousins coming up here, and they recognize? They recognize. I be in Chinatown, and I have people from Italy come here and say, hey, I got a family like you. You know what I'm saying? Wow. They be building with me. They even tell me, hey, guess what? You're a prisoner of man. And I said, yeah, you know, I know what time it is. They said, look, if you get a chance to get out of here, I could never come back to this. Because it's crazy here. How is it that people outside this continent know, but yet inside the continent, we have our own brothers trying to basically hoodwink us, bamboozle us? You know, so brother, I really don't know the mentality. Only thing I can learn to say from my, you know, teacher, guys, is that, you know, it's been infiltrated. For some reason, you know, you got people who don't want the information to come out, because there may be some imperative motive. I'm not sure, but you know.
Now, in your going to the bank and going to the SSA, did you face any type of resistance, or they just said, okay, you're doing what you do?
Oh, of course, but you know, you got to be adamant, and that's where the law comes in, because you're not going to tell me that, you know, I need an SSN, or you're not going to do, or I can't withdraw from it, or anything like that. When I read the Social Security Administration Act of 1935, I understand it's a voluntary program. I understand that my mom never put me in the system. I never had a birth certificate, and I went in the military at 18 years old. They used my birth record at that time.
Right.
So
right.
I never had that until I got married. You know what I'm saying? I got an SSN at the age of 17, which everyone knows a 17-year-old can't enter a contract. You know what I'm saying? Because we can look up minor and we can look up the legal age. So the contract is void ab initio, right, from its inception. Because if we're going to do law and we know the rules of law and we got the sources of law, it is what it is. Yo, that's bogus. So, you know, as far as the bank, you know, they would. I did some resistance, but I just kept, you know, escalating it. Like, yo, you're gonna have to call the regional manager. You have to call someone else, because you're not going to stop me if people writing me out checks for Naboo Malouk Leonel. There ain't no way. You know, you're gonna have to take those checks that y'all trying to hold and put in your safe. You know, take them out and put it in the account. So eventually they did it. You know what I mean? So, but when you see from that Hawkeye bird's eye view, you see the whole landscape. You see what's going on, and they recognize it. You know, things will start to work in your favor. But just like the prophet said, if you go to these people in intelligent tone, see if you won't get a favorable result. But it has to meet It has to be in that spirit and the truth. It has to be that breath. It has to be that you really know that you speak in the law in existence. Why? Because you are the law. You are the length, angle of this that your mother laid down. And if you ain't true to that, you know, I was taught by ties, well, you know, honor your mother and father. Well, I was taught that in Christianity, like every, you know, ones who were indoctrinated into that. But how do you do that? You got to be yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't be weight-free. You can't split the fence. You can't, well, one day I see his face with this and he be this way. And the next day I'm going to flip the script and be this way. No, I'm a 100 all the way in because, you know, what else is there? Like I said, I'm in Julius Road in Philadelphia. I'm in Society Hill. I'm in the Main Line. I'm in Rittenhouse. All the affluent European areas there is. And how is it that those people respect me and recognize me? However, they're not going to say too much, but they still like to see the fact that, yo, you are honorable. I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to share this story with y'all. There was, I was 15th and Market Street, Philly. I was getting off transportation to go and see a client. So I got off at 15th City Hall. And this young brother said, Islam, or I turned around and said, Islam. He said, what temple you belong to? Right off the bat, I just kept quiet and just shook my head. And he knew what that means. Like, no, he ain't from the temple. So he said, well, how did you declare your nationality, this and that? I said, you know, I did. I came to the realization of who I am. I send all my paperwork to the 7 heads of state and all that stuff. Got to respond. And so while I was building with the young brother, and I was telling him my heritage about my mom and World War II, and she was in a boarding home raised by the Quakes, and her cousin, who is a long story with Rosa Parks and all that stuff. So my history is a little bit different, and that's why I take it so seriously and so personal. But to make a long story short, this European came up on my blind side and said, look, I need that rail where you're standing. He's trying to get up the steps. So I didn't say anything. I saw space between the young brother and the European. So I had a backpack on. I moved into space, but my backpack accidentally brushed him. So he looked at me with an attitude. And again, I'm fed up. So he tried to test my chin. So he got an attitude, and I said, you know, excuse me, sir. You know what I mean? Because I thought he was going to move. I moved, but he didn't. And I saw no crutches. I saw no cane, no walker, no nothing. So he said, excuse me, you should be saying excuse me to me. You are a hater. And he's pointing to my dad. You are a hater. And you hate me because I'm white. And the first thing came out of my mouth, I said, you're not white. And guess what he said? He said, I'm going to tell you, speed it up. He said, I know. The whole area stopped. It was like slow motion. This European tried to use phenotype, so-called white superiority, and try to basically see if I was going to react a certain way or stay in honor. He said, you hate me because I'm white. And I said, you're not white. He said, I know. I'm Jewish. And I said, you're not Jewish. I said, you might be from Poland or Germany or Russia or something like that, but you're not Jewish. And he looked at me and he couldn't say anything. He just turned around and started walking up the step. And then, you know, at this point, like Cujo, you know, I'm flame-o. You know what I'm saying? It don't take much to get me hot. At this point, I'm like, yo, you already started. Right, you know what I'm saying?
You can't run. You can't run.
You already started, European. So here's the nail in the coffin. You're not even American. And he couldn't say anything. They shut him down. But that's what, that's what the energy is like. But to me, again, for simple Moors to actually going around saying that you can't, like, that's crazy. That's a universal law that I don't even want to, you know, I wouldn't really want to wish that on my worst enemy, because karmic debt is just too severe. You know, I don't think the fiat is worth all that you're going to deprive someone or trick someone out of their birthright. You sound like Esau and Jacob or some shit. You know what I'm saying? like yo, you want to like kick them right out their birthright for what? For what? If you fall under the Moorish Divine and National Movement.
Not even that they're trying to trick them out of it. They're just trying to keep it from them. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Yeah, but I mean, to tell somebody that you can't be something because of one thing. Like, these are the same people who sit around and read the 101s. And they brag about it because they know it by heart. All right, then, when was the prophet born? 1886 in North Carolina. What was his nationality? Moorish American, right? And then it goes in there and it says, when was the Moorish Science Temple of America? Well, you know, when was it founded? And even though it was in the 20s, it says 1913, right? But you got to think about it. If he was Moorish American in 1886 and the temple didn't come around, the old Canaanite temple didn't come till 13, somebody got to explain something to me.
Booyah!
Somebody got to explain anything, because that means that he couldn't have been a Moor either until he went to the temple. Somebody got to explain something.
That make you think right there. Pardon the interjection. That makes you think more.
Absolutely. Who's that?
That's mine going off. Right? Yeah, they got to call back. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Somebody got to explain something, man. You know what I'm saying? People know that Brother Deuce was one of Drew Ali's teachers, right?
Yeah.
Did he have a fez on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Before 13?
Yes.
Did he have a fez on before 13?
Yeah.
Somebody
make you think about that.
Y'all want to keep on acting like y'all so intelligent and so smart. Then let's be intelligent and let's be smart. Y'all want to act like y'all know history? Then let's know history. Then if we know Brother Deuce was one of Prophet Noble Drew Ali's instructors, and he had a fez on, then what was he?
Wow.
Somebody
wow, good question. Great question.
You know what? Because I'm tired of the dumb shit. Right? If we're gonna be you, listen. The only way for us to really Hulk smash is for all of us to come together. You remember? What was that? Voltron? Where it was like 5 lions came together.
Yeah.
And then he was indestructible.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Drew Ali is the black lion, the body part. And the rest of us are arms and legs. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Once we pulled that sword off his back, Voltron was unstoppable. But right now we only walking around with one arm and one leg.
Hold on, I got one of these up. Let me see if I got a. All right, Morris, just make sure you write down the number. We got her. Morris, write down the number and call that number.
Wow.
Call that number.
Wow.
Call that number. And just let them and then let her know or let him know that they're a jackass. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Mortron. Hulk smash everything.
Brother. Brother Seton was on something. Brother Seton just hit something on the head. Like Voltron was a 5-piece, was 5 lions to coincide with our 5 principles, and the prophet forms the head. Wow.
Indeed. Islam. Indeed.
Islam, more.
Just for kicks, man. Who's this on the line?
The Supreme L. What's going on? What you said?
I thought so. It's not good, bro.
This blissful, more. I still remember that time in the Library of Congress. I'm still waiting to see you again, more. I got this.
Yo, the round will be down here pretty soon, man.
Okay, and I'll be here waiting for you, more.
I'll let y'all listen. I won't let you know the night before. You know what I'm saying? I'll make sure you know the week ahead of time. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. I dig it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Peace and love, more.
Peace and love, man. We're going to sign off, man.
All right, more. Do your thing.
All right, man.
Peace and love, brother Nebu. Yeah.
Islam.
Yeah. So there you have it. You know what I mean? And again, how come they didn't tell anybody? How come they didn't tell anybody? You didn't put the word out that everybody know? You didn't put the word out to let everybody know that it's Moroccan flag raising day. Wow. Wow.
You know, everybody in their yard, everybody across the nation supposed to have raised the flag. And he should have told us about that so everybody can raise it in their yard if they could.
Even that. So
wow.
At least they'll know and they could get down with the ritual.
At least they know. Exactly.
Crazy. But that's how real it is. That's how real it is. It's so real, right? It's so real that it's unstoppable. Because we already know we don't need some municipality to raise our flag for us to have some recognition. Our stuff is 10,000 years old.
Right.
And then keep in mind too, that why they had to raise the flag just because they took it down when they put up that Eagles BS. They had to raise the flag back.
Right.
They had to put the flag back up because they took it down from the parkway. All the other flags are up there for show. This is Morocco over here. This is Morocco over here. That's why they're doing Morocco flag waving day. Because over here is Morocco. It's very, very simple. Very simple. And again, so that the frequency doesn't really affect them, they do it during Black History Month. And then these Moors who initially got the call that they're doing this, on top of not telling anybody, they didn't even say, could we do it in March? Because right now it's Black History Month and you don't really want to be partaking in the Black History Month stuff because this is not a Black History Month thing. You know what I mean? Like, but nah, they didn't do that. They were down for having Moorish whatever in Black History Month. If this is the first time ever that they're doing this, why would they do it during Black History Month? And why would the Moors, who initially, because we're not even talking about Moors who were there. We're talking about the Moors who got the call to say, hey, we are the city and we're going to do a Moroccan flag raising on this day. We want you to be there. Those Moors who got the call, why didn't they request or demand that this thing be in March? If they bring up the thing that, you know, well, they just dropped all of this in one day and we didn't have enough time to put it out to let everybody know. So, you know, that's why only 12 people were there, you know, just in case they try to pull that. Oh, why didn't you just say, oh, we'll do it in March? Then you have time to let everybody know and then make it a big deal and shut the whole place down. Moors from all over converge on in the thousands. Have these people like, what the hell is going on?
That's right.
Right? It would be amazing. Right? But nah, this is what we're left with. You know, let's say this was in the hands of the more. Let's say this was in the hands of the Black Power guys. Black Power guys would have told everybody that they're getting something. You know, secret stuff. But these Moors, these traitors that say that they're for the people, say that they're for the people, but when you really check, they're really about themselves.
Right.
You know, it's a very interesting paradigm that they just take that position of not wanting to be for the nation, want to be for everything except the nation. You know, want to be for their club, want to be for their little crew of Moors. That everybody else suffer, but they're straight. Everybody else is going through BS, but they get their little acknowledgement. They get their props, so they can look like they're somebody. But yeah, more Islam. With that, get this closeout in. You have any closing remarks?
Indeed, more. Like I say, I wanna give you honors more. You know, you again, brother. We can't stress how much you put your neck on the line for us more. And I know that you're only doing what you've been charged to do, and I as well. But I want to give you honors more, and like I say, I honor the prophet, man. We rep through all these all day around these parts, and I just know that one day here soon, all the flags are going to be raised all across our nation, not just in Philadelphia in a 12-hour window, but we're going to have more notice than that. So, but I want to give love and peace and love to you, brother, and all the brothers and sisters in the chat. I do what I do for y'all. I'm only here doing what I was told to do. You know what I'm saying? So with that, there is another part in the interjection that's coming out, and the countdown will be up in the morning. And again, if y'all put up now, I'm going to be starting an R&B video countdown. So if you sing, or if you just do some poetry, just send me your videos, send me your music and your links, and I'll put you on there. So with that being said, I want to say Islam and love to everyone. Thank you again, my sheik.
Islam to you, more. Hold on. Yeah, more. You still there? Yeah, okay. Just checking to see if you're still there, because sometimes they play around. But Islam to Brother Mario Albay.
Yeah. I want to say peace to that brother
too, man.
Yeah, peace to brother Mario. For checking the folly, for recognizing the folly of the folly boys.
What your man say though? He was trying to spell Hennessy.
He was trying to spell Hennessy. Blue cup.
I love you more.
Blue cup, yo. Blue cup. Mr. Blue cup. Mr. Blue cup with the Hennessy. Hennessy with a T. Hennessy with a T.
Morpheus don't actually you want the red or blue pill. He wanted to get the red or blue cup.
Yeah. he took the blue cup.
Brown in the red, white in the blue.
Oh my God. Too much. Islam to all the boys. Happy holy day. You know what I mean? We know how it goes. Life is crazy sometimes, but sometimes we just have to, you know what I mean? Get some laughs. So Islam to all the boys. Peace and love. You know what I mean? Keep smiling. Have a childlike mind. You know what I mean? So you don't get it out here. It's crazy. Keep yourself young. You know what I mean? Make sure you're doing some squats or something. Do something. You know? Anything, whatever. Just do something. You know what I'm saying? And keep yourself on the path, because you already know. But yeah, more ready to go. When you ready? Go ahead.
Also, before I throw this, I want to say something that I saw on a video that I got from my brother, Good Iron Sheik. It says, "Love, live, and laugh, Morris." I'm ready, so wherever you are.
Let's do it.
Zaharka, Pigpen
El Bay.
You suck.
First creation and fall of man, education of Mary and Liz and Zoan, the unity of life, Elihu's lesson, death is a ministry. In Manetho's lesson, after the feast we build with carpenter's tools on the life of Yahshua in the Muslim schools until the mass explain the meaning of truth. Yahshua reveals sinful ways when they stray from rules. At the feast in Bahar taught equality, and that between Allah and man is unity. Like Yahshua and Barada, we read scrolls sacred, using eternal happiness to clothe the naked. In Egypt, tremendous works defeat the three temptations to examine your worth. Washing your hands, can't clean karmic dirt. Lying disciples didn't steal the body and splurt. When I left to appear fully materialized before Apollo and the silent brotherhood's eyes. Even in India, I appeared to Eastern sages. Came back to the Americas to save the nations. Living in sin, where should I begin? No brethren, just a dusty book from the monks Tibetan. As the Aquarian Gospels, I learned those lessons with a Moorish spirit spilling as the circle 7. Holy instructions and warnings to all young men. Marriage instructions, even duties of a husband. Holy instructions for children toward their mom and father's obedience. Holy covenant of nations Asiatic. Holy unity of rich and poor is in the attic. Master servant duty shall become a pleasure. Social duties by the prophet, Allah's treasure. Justice, charity, gratitude, sincere religion. Know thyself, inhale the breath of heaven. Speak the soul of man, reach the wisdom pinnacle. The instability of man is no miracle. In constant weakness, cause knowledge is insufficient. Lower self has the higher self in submission. Inconstancy and weakness, it cause misery. Origin of Asiatic, start of Christianity. After we left the capital and fulfill prophecy. Fallen sons of daughters, no hate, start loving me, your prophet. Without a rocket, meet you on the soul plane. Higher than Siphon, 7 lines of cocaine. You won't have to do that to hear me speak. Open your heart to the Most High, bump into a sheep. Fez might be red, black, or blue. He might teach you about Bohemian Grove or Olokun. When I left to appear fully materialized before Apollo and the silent brotherhood's eyes. Even in India, I appeared to Eastern sages. Came back to the Americas to save the nations. Living in sin, where should I begin? No brethren. Just a dusty book from the monks Tibetan. As the Aquarian Gospels, I learned those lessons with a moral spirit spilling as the circle 7. When I left to appear fully materialized before Apollo and the silent brotherhood's eyes. Even in India, I appeared to Eastern sages. Came back to the Americas to save the nations. Living in sin, where should I begin? No brethren. Just a dusty book from the monks Tibetan. As the Aquarian Gospels, I learned those lessons with a moral spirit spilling as the circle 7. On the real, all these dirty Moors know the deal. When we start the revolution, all they probably do is squeal. On the real, all these dirty Moors know the deal. When we start the revolution, all they probably do is squeal. On the real, all these dirty Moors know the deal. When the truth gets revealed, all they probably do is squeal. On the real, all these dirty Moors know the deal. On the real, on the real. When I uplift the fallen humans from the ashes, the phoenix will rise and live on after it clashes. Feathers and head wraps, costume bar sashes. Atlantis and Pangea was us ruling the atlas. The mundane, some god and numb brain. Judah is reincarnate, some self-proclaimed. Taking the lessons from Quran questions. Bible as my rolling pad, holy book circle 7. Forerunner Marcus Garvey coming in the whirlwind. Moorish Boba Muftis in the black turban. Pioneer exposed as the triple crown glows. Every negus has the negus as his throne. The temple as the body. Truth as my shoddy. With no bulge, I'm still armed without the robbery. Master arts martial, and they marshal the law. Peace offers abuse authority, fracture your jaw. Clapping at y'all at bachelor parties. Not knowing whether it's controlled by HAARP. Stopping the tapping of UH frequency. Sent to the higher self from Sirius B, or maybe Sirius A. The reverse is serious internet radio play. Like square shreddies are now diamond and new. Misleading, they charge a bill 50 for a shoe. It takes $5 to make. They load trucks with bins. Same goes for cars, construction Tims. So clean, no stuffs. Revolution chumps, reclining in the armchair, speechless like mumps. On the real, all these dirty Moors know the deal. On the real, all these dirty Moors know the deal. On the real, all these dirty Moors know the deal. When we start the revolution, all they probably do is squeal. Change is coming. I'm watching hybrids running for shade, cause Earth's hot, not like a preheat oven. Raid the stores for UV protection. If AIDS can go through the condoms, who you protecting? Neglecting the truth and lie accepting. Not in for a person, reparations expecting. Planes going down, but you're not ejecting. Too busy flossing with the spinning rims and white feet is flexing. Fronts are fake elements, that's not real gold. Running from police with guns is not too bold, cause you got a gun but won't shoot back, son, or shoot first and earn your way off earth. Suicide is a sin and sin is ignorance. Not thinking critical makes you ignorant. Missing the message. Ego filling your brain with nonsensical thoughts just to drive you insane. On the real, all these 30 Moors know the deal. On the real, all these 30 Moors know the deal. On the real, all these 30 Moors know the deal. When we start the revolution, all they probably do is squeal. Our leaders labeled black, they were assigned to us. As ancients, we flew. We didn't have to ride the bus or drink at their fountain. We didn't even need our own. The gun is a penis and every man is holding a chrome. Thinking it's tough, but when you shoot, you bust. Like Vixens holding you in with the camel hoof clutch. Smoking a Dutch, but talk much against the master. Sellouts will pay karmic debt in the life after. Don't believe me, seek the truth. I hear Hail Hitler when I play back these hip-hop loops that rap hip-hop. Nas said it's dead. Same gunny raps about shot J in their head. Cripple a team. These ball players, they cripple a dream. Counting the asses that they slap but won't get a bad rap. And rap sheets are written by them. It's police, not following Moors, but niggas booming in their Jeeps. Europeans on the bus, they acting like niggas. Straight off the plantation, looking like J Hill figure. From the foreigner, you'll never get compensated. Disarm a you man saying you strapped, you been miseducated. On the real, all these dirty Moors know the deal. When we start the revolution, all they probably do is squeal. On the real, all these dirty Moors know the deal. When we start the revolution, all they probably do is squeal. On the real, all these dirty Moors know the deal. When the truth gets revealed, all they probably do is squeal. On the real. All these dirty Moors know the deal on the real. On the real. Artist Union. Yo, my principles. I thought was dead, right? MK Ultra, King Alfred, or X84. Once all melanites behind cage doors. In front the idiot box, drinking cores, watching sports. At the picnic, first in line for porks. Can't find your mind. So say that it's lost. Moral science says divine souls got tossed, abandoned. Love is my ammo, peace is the cannon. Truth is the ayahuasca talking through the shaman. Freedom is the freedom, justice I must get. Tears fall like those shot with the pilgrims' muskets. The ruckus I bring, but this ain't Wu-Tang. Hold you accountable, Shimitar takes it 2 hands. Sent up the frankincense from Sudan. Big up to my elder and the god Moses holding up move band. Rainbow flag rapping Fruity Loop toucan. Same company got cola in 2 cans, different labels. You're navigating, L is your navel. Matriarch rules, watch the goddess not cable. My property, now the rights of the archives papal. Ex-knights, now sheiks of the round table. Ancients return to reclaim and learn how to not to succumb to the combustion burn. Astral projecting, as above, so below. So you know off the cosmos we're reflecting. Yo bro, laws of nature, make the sun hate you. Hybrid Caucasoid, I'm all pro but not rapanoid. My deep mob, make devil's horns kebab. Don't get my Islam twisted with jihad. Don't get the Muslim mixed up with Muslims. Don't mistake the Mufti force for hoodlums. We giving back Islam and his story. Taking my story, creating a myth-story. That's what's hidden. It's not called Satanism. Men thinking they're wise, but they lack wisdom. Need I say more? In my proper person, I got judges tearing up the bonds and cursing. I self-law a master. No guns, let God be whirlwind blast ya. No need for tabs. We got the feds. Rituals make them roll down the steps like the Aztec heads. I self-law a master. No guns, let God be whirlwind blast ya. No need for tabs. We got the feds. Rituals make them roll down steps like Aztec heads. Most say they're ready for consciousness, I doubt it. Application is the path, but some reroute it. The most I can say is, we'll see about it. Mother Nature sets fires and they can't out it. They take oaths, I know the truth, but they can't shout it. I plant the seed in your mind, got the highest sprouting. Just like Jack's beans, roll a sock, a sensi seed. Empty ashtray, hanging from the loose kente. Bobo beating on the djembe, calling Orishas. Or hailing Goddess Manan or the Negas. Red, black, green candles, golden flame. Make you think so much and end up with a swollen brain. Cause even she can see that he's in create her. The point creatress is the only creator. I self-law a master. My son now run my birthright to sovereign. God the macabre around me revolving. X-Alpha or David Starr, I'm shooting at your squadron. Illuminate my higher self, see from afar. I'm so against jail, I can't rhyme in bars. I self-law a master. No guns, let God be whirlwind blast ya. No need for tabs, we got the feds. Rituals make them roll down the steps like the Aztec heads. I self-law a no guns, let God be whirlwind blast ya. No need for tabs, we got the feds. Rituals make them roll down steps like Aztec heads. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Artist Union. Conscious. Artist Union. I self-law a master. Whirlwind blast ya. We got the Aztec heads.
Standing on the rock, Morocco, here we go, Moa by Mo, Grand Chief Cujo, let's flow.
A up from the grave, no longer in the dead state. Colonization claimed my consciousness, but now I'm awake. Broke the chains of being ignorant, I stand on the truth. Competent in my proper person, rocking the booth. Navigating through the waters in the leanable rights. The 7 seas, all I sent me, so I'm bringing the light. Can't rewind the hands of time, so I'm expanding my space. I'm from one human family, the human race. My pedigree is in my blood, I'm forever a more. Asiatic mobile bite, and I'm ready for war. She redeems when I speak, and I'm speaking to me. Assisting and helping uplifting fallen humanity. For the record, on the record, neither Negro or black. Or troglodyte, my people suffering, we only attack. My people perish from true knowledge, we so desperately lack. So why in the hell would I want to go back? No. Can't go back to that, being a slave of my mentality. Broke the chains that were bound to me. Listen to me now. I can't go back to that. From on the left, you're on the right, and the light. Melanated radiation is bright.
Yeah, we don't regress but progress. Crystals back for no stress. With the feather not liberate the mind's oppressed. Staring at a wall in a hole, show you a ladder. Which is not a thing you climb, but your 7 chakras. Ask Jacob. 5 up, assalamu alaikum. Left foot first, or standing on the square, take 'em. The opposite of get out black holes into light so marvelous. You get scared from fright. False and light. Tonight appears real, you just might. Sit that trap, can't move, just paralyzed. Paralysis that you only get if you sleep. Your heights are so deep, the depths are so deep. Intelligent hoodlum said arrest the presidency. 2 shots for drink champs, Nori knows Drew Ali. Calling Yassine Bey most step, you think like the colonists. Even though Nostradamus told you what your problem is.
Can't go back to that, being a slave of my mentality. Broke the chains that were bound to me. Listen to me now. I can't go back to that. From on the left, you're on the right, and the light. Melanated radiation is bright. I can't go back to that, being a slave of my mentality. Broke the chains that were bound to me. Listen to me now. I can't go back to that. From on the left, you're on the right, and the light. Melanated radiation is bright. I rise to give honors to Allah, the Father of the universe, to Noble Drew Ali, to Grand Sheik, Cujo Awo-El, Canaanland Moors, for sharing this mic with me, Temple number 5, to my son, my firstborn, for producing this track, Hassani Mosai, 206, also known as Preach to God, and to DJ Funk Daddy, the best in the West, Washington Republic, and to my emperor, Islamism.